Hello, here we are in Belgrade Photo Month 2020-2021. On the 8th of May, we opened the festival in two spaces, Bioscope Balkan and Kuchelegata, where we are today. We have around 10 projects in each space, and one of them is Karoliina Paatos, who have here with us. I would like to say at first, thank you, a very big thank you to Frame Contemporary Art Finland, to the Finnish Cultural Foundation, and to the Art Promotion Center Finland, because without their support, this beautiful exhibition, it will not be here. And unfortunately for the COVID, we don't have Karoliina in Belgrade, but if we don't have COVID, he can be here also, thanks to these three institutions. Well, I will say that we met Karoliina a couple of years ago. We talked about her project and we plan to have her here. The plan was to be last year with her in Belgrade, because in that time it was a beautiful time without COVID, but now we have. Then finally, well, we opened the edition of 2020-2021, and we had the great pleasure for us and for our audience to have the work of Karoliina in our walls. Kuchelegata is is a place with a very good reputation in the city of Belgrade, in one of the best locations, and they are bringing the best exhibitions here, and they are very glad to host your work, Karoliina. Karoliina, thank you very much. Dobrodošla u Beogradu, and we are extremely glad to have your cowboys in our walls. Thank you.
Hvala puno. Thank you very much, David. It's such a pleasure to have my exhibition over there. I'm so sad that I cannot be there in person, but you've done beautiful work, and I'm very excited to have my heroes exhibited there at your festival, and hopefully in the future I will be able to attend in person and see all the beautiful settings that I have seen pictures of. Thank you.
We hope, yes. It means we are not sure yet, but we are working hard, and we will see if we succeed to have our Wish Photo Book Week. That will be, we hope, in September, and then we would like, if it's possible, to bring you here. We are not going to have the setup, but you will see the beautiful prints that we did for you.
Yes.
And let's cross fingers to can do it, because then we'll talk about more things that we already were to talk later.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I would like to, we're going to make, I would like mainly that you explain, that you talk to us about your projects in general, your project in particular, and about yourself. I would like to ask you, when you start to be interested in the photography, or which was your motivation? Sometimes they are the family, the parents, a random reason, there are a million reasons. Which are yours?
I think I have also like million reasons, and there are like so many stories I could tell, and all of them would be true. I do have like one uncle who was very into photography, so it was kind of there in the background, but it was more by an accident. I was into art and into drawing and painting always, but I mostly used the photography for sketching. But then there was this when I was applying for different schools, I was applying for this one art school that's very hard to get in. I didn't get in there, but I got into this other school that I wasn't so sure about, but it was like necessary detour, because over there I had this documentary photography class, and I totally fell in love with it was in the dark room, so it was still a little different process than what I do mostly nowadays, but I used everybody else's papers, and when I graduated from that school I applied to study photography, and I haven't regretted it.
You don't have to. You don't have to. You're doing a very good job. I want to say, the fact that you started with this in the lab, let's say, of course, is a process of the photography more close to the gravure, probably, or painting or drawing, than the digital photography. Probably you did it in the correct time to get, let's say, addicted to the photography.
Yeah. I was lucky to start with the analog process, but of course it's still possible today, and many of the uh, uh, people starting just now, some of them still get involved through the old processes. But of course, like I would like to go even more deeply into the old processes. I've tried some of them, but let's see what future will bring. But I feel like there is a certain sense of like in the tangible objects and tangible world. I think it's always for me, when I see my work, even if it's like digital printing printed on the wall, it becomes real. It comes like into life. Like before, it's just I don't know, like it exists in between. Like it
In a limbus.
was, and then yeah. So it's not like real in a sense for me, but it's such a relief to see it goes somewhere, because of course I do it for it's not just for me, like my photography. I also do these works for people, to share it with people. So it's a very nice to have that finally, like after postponing for such a long time, due to all these circumstances.
Yes, the truth is that we are in a very visual time of the age or era, or however we want to say, and we are a lot in this digital world. You know, nowadays I had a discussion with a very good friend about the future of the photography in itself printed, and it's true, we are in digital, and then every time less we are printing our works. You know, but I can tell you that when you see your prints here, is like you say, is a different thing, is a different dimension. It's just fantastic. Means we had good luck. Good luck, no. We had a good printer. We had a very nice paper, and you know, when you see they see like a real thing, not a screen showing something. Okay, let me ask you also. Can you mention some references in the photography? That is a typical cliche question, but I'm sure that there is people curious that later will want to know. Well, sorry, let me say to the people who is listening, and I will repeat later, everybody has a question, they can do it, of course. And I will do it, I will do the question, I will give the questions to Karoliina. You have any references like a photographer, or probably writers, probably cinema directors? You know, Western movies, your work is very connected to the wild West, let's say.
Yeah. Of course, I'm like I follow like what's happening in the photography world, and I do admire many people. But yeah, I would say like the references, maybe they come more from maybe time before I started doing photography. Well, maybe I go little more ways, like in the past. Um, like why I got interested in this whole cowboy culture in general. Like this is not my first work dealing with the cowboy culture. I published the American Cowboy book and done several artist books on the same subject, and held exhibitions with the American Cowboy and Cowboy Girls, these two bodies of work.
We will go later to this. Don't advance the answer.
Yes. But like my parents were very into the Western movies, especially my mom. My dad, he was into the country music, and he played himself guitar, and he wore his cowboy hats and boots and stuff like that.
Wow.
And so I was kind of like in touch with the culture always. And even as a child, I knew many names of like actors, and I had like favorites and these favorites and things like this. So it kind of was always there. I did horseback riding as a kid, and then I had to quit that, and then I grew up, and I just was curious. I started writing again, and I wanted to do like a photo work where I could combine all kinds of passions. So I wanted to do horseback riding, and I had done some these kind of like macho culture things before. So I kind of like uh, combined everything, and also satisfied my personal curiosity if the cowboy existed in the first place. I had no idea. I had never been to US before I started my project, and this was 2010 or like 2009 when I started gathering information, and I had no idea what I would find, and I didn't realize it was such a like huge thing still, like a living culture. Of course it's changed, and it's still like changing all the time. Like big companies are owning most of the ranches nowadays, and it's harder to make an ends meet if you are like a family rancher, but still there are like a lot of people living this lifestyle, and rodeo is part of that, but it's also like a independent it's a sport thing, and also like this whole gay rodeo where I have been going to take these photos. It's a chosen family of many, so it is also much more than just a sport event that takes
Yeah.
place. But I don't know, I'm kind of like steered away maybe from
Okay.
your original
You know,
question. So
you know when you mention now about the families, it reminds me somehow, but obviously I don't feel that they are torturing in the same way, because probably in the States they are not torturing. But it reminds me somehow this tradition, and still families that keep the tradition of the bullfighting in Spain.
mm-hmm.
When you were talking about it, somehow it came to my mind, because it's a quite, let's say, close scene with the people who
Mm-hmm.
have these the bulls, the people who manage the
Mm-hmm.
arenas, of course the bullfighters, and well,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to compare, because for me the bullfighting is absolutely torture and disaster, but let's say a bit the story around. And I wanted to say something also. I have been in Norway several times. My ex-wife,
Mm-hmm.
Teresa, if she's listening, hello, Teresa, she's living there in the
Mm-hmm.
south, near Halden, Fredrikstad, this area. And I remember
Okay.
I was surprised when I was there, when I went to visit them, and I saw how many big American cars there were there. And then I was talking with Teresa, and she told me, well, there is a kind of, at least in this part of Norway, I didn't feel the same in Sweden, but I felt it in Norway. There is a kind of how to say, fascination somehow for this American culture that is not the American that we see from Europe, from New York or from California. It
Mm-hmm.
is the same America that you are going. I didn't saw any car with the corn in front, but you know,
Yeah.
but they saw these big cars. Is usual?
Yeah.
Is something that also in Finland is a kind of usual?
And of course, there are people that are like drawn to that kind of culture, but I wouldn't say it's like mainstream. But I think it was like back in the day, it was huge thing, these like Western movies in their heyday. So like my parents in the like 60s, 70s. So it was big thing then. And also like this like Native American thing. They were very, I don't know, they're very interested in everything dealing with that. And I don't remember it myself, but they had some like posters on the wall with the
Yeah.
subject. But yeah, but you also mentioned like these kind of like references. I don't know. I do like some writers very much. Maybe Annie Proulx, whose novel Brokeback Mountain was made into very well-known movie, is
Yes.
probably one of the like bigger bigger names. But yeah, I don't know. There's like a, but also I do enjoy these kind of um, mainstream country music. You could say I can also like enjoy like that side too. So it's very like versatile.
Okay.
uh,
You,
the
you,
influences.
yeah, you know, here in the time in Yugoslavia, when it was Tito,
Hmm.
Tito was a great lover of the West movies, of the Western movies. I
Hmm.
think that the reason once because he has a beautiful cinema in his residence and he was watching one movie every day, something like this. It was quite interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
then let's go. Let's go to one point. When means we now we listen. Oh, I fuck up my finger with ink. I we listen a bit why you start to be interested in this scene of the rodeos or these ranchos or however we want to call of this culture in the is from the States. I would like to ask, you mentioned when did you start? How many years you have been there working with these projects?
The first time I went to US was 2010, and my first gay rodeo was in 2011. So of course now I haven't been able to go there. So 2019 was the last time that I was there.
And when you say that you arrived in 2010, you did the first gay rodeo in 2011. Uh,
Hmm.
one question: when you arrived there, you knew or you expected? Well, you are going to find because normally when you start to work, you go deeply. You means everything you start to grow up, and then you say, "My God, this 6 months it will become 6 years." I mean, when you
Yeah.
arrive, you knew about the rodeos, this culture, blah blah blah. But did you knew about this, for example, gay rodeos before to go, or you discovered once you were there how it was?
I actually found out about the gay rodeos before I went there. I wasn't able to attend one until 2011, but because like nowadays the way you search information is through internet. So I was googling all these like ranches and rodeos, and I encountered different kind of rodeo association, and there was also the gay rodeo association or International Gay Rodeo Association, IGRA, and I was intrigued by it too. um, um, like a lot, and I wanted to go and see myself uh, what it was. Of course, I was like, it sounds weird. Like, why is there such a thing? But I didn't want to have too many expectations, and I just wanted to kind of go there and find out. But how I started was I first went on this one ranch, and it was owned by a company, and they had like three ranches, kind of like close proximity to each other, and they promised that I could visit all of them, and I did this contacting beforehand. And so I had no idea what to expect when I went there. I had seen this one image where there was like one mountain somewhere over there. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, so it's not maybe completely flat, so maybe it's somewhat beautiful. And I had like no idea what I would find there, and I had no idea that it would grow up to these huge
Yeah.
um, bodies of work. But it was just through the great people that I met there, and they introduced me to new people, and so many people invited me to their homes to take photos of them, to stay with them, and also a little bit the same happened in the gay rodeo. I had no idea. It was like I was an outsider from Finland going there, but somehow like it wasn't my first rodeo. I had been going to I I don't remember how many rodeos before that, but some anyways. But I just felt very welcome. Like everybody was very open and sharing, and I just wanted to go back, and it's I don't know. It's I made friends over there, and it's so great to go back there and see the same people like from
I
year to year.
I can imagine. It means you grow up a bit with them. It means 10 years there. It means it's normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that I told you when we met in R, because I met Karoliina in R 2 years ago. Unfortunately, last year was impossible. I don't know if I told to you in that moment, but when at first I saw this project, the first thing that it came to my brain, because I am old enough, and when I was a kid was like a TV consumer. The first thing that came to my brain, it was this A-team series, that normally it happens in the center of the States, never in New York or Los Angeles, normally in the rural parts. That there is one episode that now it named out of my brain, the singer of Culture Club, now I don't remember the name. It goes in one episode, like he was so eccentric in the middle of a club, bar, or however, salon, and
Yeah.
this kind of woof, it reminds me when I saw your work the first time, it was like, wow, yes. Okay, before we go deeply to heroes, can you talk us a little bit about the other project that you shot, and if you want to share with us some photos, the people will enjoy it, about the girls or other projects that you shot around the rodeos?
Yeah. Um, so first I went to these ranches, and one of the like main reasons why I wanted to go there, there are like so many reasons, but one of the main reasons was that I wanted to see the relationship between a man and a horse, when the horse is like working partner. Not like, of course, there's like horseback riding culture in Finland, and horses are used, but it's not the same as like if like on the ranches the horses are really like used in everyday work, so they really are essential part of like the whole culture over there. So I wanted to see how like that, how it looks like in person, and so I was very interested in all kinds of activities that take place on ranches. So so like it's like cattle driving, I don't know, going to places, fixing fences, checking everything is all right, doctoring cows, branding, and like branding is one thing that it takes place usually like once in a year, and neighbors come and help. So it's a little bit this kind of like gathering,
Like a
smaller
community,
than a
like a
roadie. Yeah, community. Yeah, they come to help, and everybody brings food, and you like help each other, and so I got invited to one branding on one of the rodeos, and there I met this amazing cowboy girl, original cowboy girl, Brooke, and I traveled with her a lot in the states of Nevada, Idaho, Oregon, on the border over there, and I feel like she's an essential part also how this whole American cowboy thing happened. So it's I have been going to several other states too, but I had to kind of narrow it down when I wanted to make exhibition and book. And so I narrowed it down to this region. So it became about this one ranching community. So I was uh, attending this one branding, and there was a family helping, and they came behind from this one big mountain, so they were living on the other side, and they said like, you should come to our ranch, that we have the most beautiful cows. And I couldn't go
well,
there that time, because I had such a busy schedule. Like I always stayed there for like a long time, but still there was always so much to do. So the next time I went there, and I forgot to say, they had these two beautiful girls. They were very young. I think they were five and 7 at the time, and but they were somehow like so mature, like they were telling these big cowboys how things should be done, and like riding big horses, and when I went to their homestead, home ranch, um, they were just so amazing. Like
can you show us any photo about this part that you're talking?
Let me see. I didn't prepare like those photos exactly, but maybe I can show. I made artist book, like I
Yeah,
told
sure.
you before.
Yes, it's
that
true.
I made like books and artist books. So this is an artist book I made with the Cowboy Girls project, because it is still very much ongoing. But of course I haven't been able to go there
Okay,
for a
sure.
little while. But I will start this just a moment. Maybe 4. Yes.
Perfect. Yes, we see perfectly.
And okay, I will put this full screen.
Okay.
Okay, so I will just, it will be 4 minutes. So
Well, we can be talking. Meantime, we see the photos. I think that
exactly.
for the audience will be very interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So there's these 2 ranches. They have been living in 2 spots during that time that I took photos of them. But I have to say, like, there's a quote from Rebecca Solnit, and she's an American thinker, activist, feminist writer. She has been living and traveling a lot uh, in that area where I took these photos, and her writings really
Yeah.
resonate. So there was a quote from her in the beginning.
Okay.
But I got so intrigued by their world that I continued this whole ranching community. But what I really wanted to do was just, like, follow these girls and see the world that they were growing into. And they rodeo during the weekends, and they help on the ranch, take part on the ranch chores. That's a letter one of the girls wrote when she was
Yeah.
younger.
But they are means we saw her. We saw the girl now on the rock, like a real
Yeah,
cowgirl. I mean, wearing like
yeah,
a real. But
yes,
they
yes, yes.
but they don't
Mm-hmm.
participate. They don't participate in rodeos, I suppose. They are part of the.
Yeah, they do.
They do. Okay.
Yeah. They take part. Of course, they are junior rodeos, so they do. I don't know now. Are they junior enough anymore? I have to check, because they are growing so fast. I
Of
think they are
course.
16 and soon 18. So, but also they go to these roping events. So you can take part with in the adult events also. But they have been rodeoing their whole life also.
Wow. I remember recently, but I don't remember the title of the movies. I was watching a series of movies from that. I mean, obviously John Ford and other movies, but there was a movie from the 70s or 80s about a cowboy of nowadays. It means it's the world that you are talking. Means when they are these rodeos, these 2 rodeos, and they go from one to one
Mm-hmm.
to try to win the prices, and they are living off the money that they took from the prices, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. I asked somebody, like, it was not one of the girls, some guy, like, who was doing bull riding and horseback, this like saddle bronc and bareback riding, and why do you do this? And he was like, yeah, I'm for the easy money. And I was thinking that there are
Easy?
easier ways
Easy?
to
Yes.
make money because you have to, like, if you do these let's say roping events, you have to have your own horses, your own gear. You take your horses
Yeah,
there,
of course.
you pay to take part to the rodeo, so you really should win something to make ends meet to cover the cost.
Yeah.
But of course, like some people, like very few, like in every other sport, like there is money for them, but it's very like
Yeah.
wide the mountain and the top is very narrow,
Yes, I
I would
imagine.
say.
Yes, very
And now
sharp.
there's but there's a photo of my parents and me in the, it's like epilogue of this book.
Okay.
So
Well, means you will start to take to work with these rodeo cowgirls, let's say.
mhm.
The different projects that you work there, you work them simultaneously, or you were somehow working one, then when you finish, you start the new layer, let's say. How you were
Just a
doing?
moment, I stopped my screen share.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was kind of like layering. So
But
many times I was combining things.
overlapping layers,
Yeah,
or yes?
yeah, they were overlapping. So I started with uh, the ranching community thing, so the American cowboy, and then during that time, I knew that I will continue with the girls. Like American cowboy will be finished, it will be ready. Like if I just felt that that I don't need to continue doing that like all the time, but at the same time I knew that the girls are like independent work. So some of the images, they are in the American cowboy book and the
Yeah.
exhibition, but then like when it's finished, the cowboy girl project is on its own, so it's something completely different. But also like I went to the gay rodeos first time in 2011. Usually I've been going there, I only was able to go there like once a year. So most of the time I went to the finals rodeo because that's the biggest happening every year. But I've been going to smaller rodeos, like New Mexico, Zia Regional Rodeo. I was studying in University of Arizona in Tucson. I graduated there a couple of years ago, and I've been taking part to the Phoenix, Arizona Gay Rodeo in Phoenix quite many times also. But other than that, it's been only these finals rodeos that I've been going to. And usually I was also doing work on the ranches, and staying with people. And then because rodeo is such a like small thing, so I stayed with some of the people and followed them also outside of the rodeo, but it was more still like more concentrated on the what's happening on the events and around the events during the time that they take place.
And if we go back, or if we go deeply in this project that we have here, I will say now, if you are lucky, and I mean, I don't talk to you now. If you are lucky and you're in Belgrade before Sunday, it means I think that the exhibition will finish on Saturday. Come to Kutza Legata in Belgrade to see the project because it's amazing. Not only this one, we have new talents. We have Lorena Ross, we have Dusan Kohol, we have Vladimir Zivojinovic, we have Maria Chalic, Matej Milenkovic. Enjoy all of them. Ending of the promo.
Yes.
Ending of the promo.
But look really good.
Yes,
on
yes.
photos.
Yes, it's true. I want to ask you, now talking about heroes, okay? We're talking about gay rodeos. You mentioned a bit before, but now talking in particular about the gay rodeos. You are a Finnish photographer. You are suddenly in the States with the camera in your hands. How was your work regarding approaching to them? How they welcome you? How easy for you was to work? Talk us about, and I don't know, you have like any kind of surprising relation with somebody that you will not expect, for good and for bad sometimes, or for funny, whatever. And if you want to show us any photo meantime we talk, the people can see.
Yeah, I will try this screen sharing.
Yes.
Once again, this is okay. Share.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
We don't see big. We see like the slides.
Okay, let me see.
I will say to the audience, meantime, I will say to the audience that some of these photos, you can see them in Belgrade, but you cannot see all because there are some that are not in Belgrade because the exhibition, it has a limit space.
Yeah. I don't know why this is at the moment, but let me see. I will stop the share and
Yes.
I will try a different.
Sure.
Yeah, different approach. Just a moment. Let me see if I can here.
I repeat to the people, if somebody has a question, they can do, and then at the end, we'll check it and we will ask to Karoliina, whichever question you have. Of course, you can contact her by Facebook, by Instagram. She has her website anytime you want. You can buy her books. Later, we'll talk a bit about the books, but you can buy her books, of course. We hope that in September, we'll have the new book, the last book about these heroes in Belgrade. Thanks to Mate and Angry Bat, publishing company from Slovenia.
Yeah.
Can you? If not, we can go through the website.
Yeah, it would be nice to show this take, but I don't know why it showed it. It kind of like funnily. I think maybe they are like smaller images, but I thought they are like big enough. Just I will.
Yes, no worry.
Check.
Technology is helpful, but sometimes drive us crazy.
Yeah. I try like if I can find something else. So this is.
Meantime, I will say to the betas, the two betas from Frame Contemporary Art Finland, thank you very much for your support and for the kind answers all the time when we have any doubt or whatever. Thank you very much. I didn't talk with the people from the Finnish Cultural Foundation or Art Promotion Center Finland because we were in contact with them, but they make a very helpful funding support.
Yes. Yeah, I will try my website. It's really, this is like older stuff, so I will have to show something else. But this is not so big either, this website.
Well, it's just to show.
Full screen.
But it's not. Don't worry if it's not full screen. I mean, it's just to show a little bit. I can also move my screen and to show the work that we have in the walls.
Yeah. This is not. I should have, but now I have like smaller takes, and I would like to have this big take.
But you say about the size of the selection.
I will try to.
Let me see because I also.
Bridge.
Okay.
This is not that selection, but this is one selection. So this should let me see.
Okay, means we don't need to show.
No,
Okay.
it shows. Well, most of them, they are, the one image is smaller. So
Okay.
let's
No,
not
let's
concentrate on that. Okay, I will go back to the,
share the screen.
yes, share screen. This is the joy of online.
Yes, we learned a lot in the festival last year. Yes, perfect.
Yes.
Okay, this is exactly, I mean, I would like to take a photo now, but I have my phone here for another thing. This is exactly the photo that I have in front of my eyes. You know, the sky with this couple, beautiful couple kissing each other. Okay, well, this is part of the
Yes.
heroes that Karoliina will talk us a little bit. Like I asked, how was your arrival? How the people receive a Finnish photographer, women photographer with a camera? I suppose that not invasive, but you were there, you know, suddenly. Sometimes you can get scared of how difficult will be the people. Sometimes you can be surprised, like, oh my God, the people is asking me to take the photos. How easy is going, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, explain if there is any kind of crazy story or interesting story or a personal, a character that surprised you very much for something. Tell us about.
Yeah, well, I didn't know like what to expect either, and I had been going to these some rodeos, and sometimes I've had some friend with me, but many times I've gone there by myself, and I feel that's always a good thing. You are kind of like there on your own, so people are more willing to help and also take contact, and you are kind of like forced to take contact because there's nobody else you can like talk to. But of course, like the first time I felt like people were welcoming, like so welcoming that I wanted to go back. But I remember somebody telling me the next time that I went there that they were like, "Oh, she came back," and then everything got much easier. They knew that I knew how to work in a rodeo, how like if I went to take photos behind the shoots, they know that I won't do anything crazy. I know how to behave there, and like I know the rules. So then we didn't have to kind of like concentrate on that kind of thing, and then it was just even more kind of like just meeting people. And I was, of course, like as much as taking photos, or maybe even more, I was talking with people, and many were very willing to share their stories with me, and of course, like with the like if I go a little bit back, like with the gay rodeo, like it was born in the 1970s. And then if you were known to be a gay person, you were not allowed to take part in a regular rodeo, and you couldn't do anything. And of course, there were gay people in this community back then also. But there were some people who wanted to do this fundraising event, and they were willing enough to make this thing happen out of nowhere, and it took them 2 years, and they made the first rodeo happen, and from the very beginning these are non-profit rodeos, so they choose the different things that they support, so all the money that they make they donate that to different charities.
Wow.
So it is they are like charitable it's not organization but anyway, so that is the function of these rodeos, and everybody
It means it's nothing at all like the other rodeos that you participate, you pay to participate, to wish to take an award, and then to move to live of these prizes, let's say.
No, there is that side too. So it is you pay to attend, and if you win money. But compared to these many other rodeo league rodeos, the money is much smaller. So in my also, like, besides this exhibition, I've been working on a book for some years now, and it's kind of like coming out right now. It's ready. I haven't seen it myself. It's not. It will be shipping to me to Finland pretty soon. But I'm very excited to see it also in person. But in the book, there's 2 editions. I have to talk about this a little bit, so to explain things.
Sure.
And I can show you some like a layout a little bit, but I don't unfortunately have any like physical book myself yet. But in the book I have 2 interviews with long-time contestants, and they, like in the book or in the newspaper, you can read this kind of like story how these rodeos came to be, and it was very bigger, like it was bigger back in the day. At some point they were huge events, and I guess there wasn't maybe something like that in that time. And maybe nowadays there's more to choose for people. So these kind of like mass events, maybe they are not happening so much. So I don't know what is the reason, but like the contestants, they are not gathering so much young people there. So like there's like many people that have been part of the rodeos from the very beginning, so they are still taking part. But when they become too old to do that, so will there be enough people to continue the rodeos? We shall see. I don't know how it will go, but anyway, so
well, I think that is like a 150 years going, and I mean, it's not something that happens suddenly one day. No.
Yeah, exactly. But this is, for example, Lee. One of the special things of the gay rodeos is that.
Yes.
Yes.
You have it there in the back. Yes.
Yes. Is that there is no gender bias, so everybody can take part in every sport. So in let's say these regular rodeos, many times these speed events, they are for women, and bull riding and these kind of things. This is steer riding. It may not be open for women to take part. So here there's no gender bias, so everybody is welcome. And also they do welcome people without rodeo background. They offer these kind of like rodeo schools, so you can go there. It's not it doesn't happen in every rodeo, but some of the rodeos, some of the contestants that have been doing it for a long time, they teach people how to do these things. And there are like certain events that are easier to take part when you are a beginner. So you can go and be a part of the contestant.
Let me ask, how was your baptism? How you was your first? I suppose you did or not? You tried?
I have not taken part. So maybe now that next time that I will go there, and I don't have an agenda to prepare exhibition or book, maybe I would do like this skill roping, calf roping on foot. That you are standing and they are coming out of this chute, and they try to catch the head.
Wow. Okay.
So maybe something like that I could do.
Not on the cow, or yes, not on the bull, or
no. There's a lot of so this is also the same.
Yes,
same person doing the bull riding.
This is the same person who was in the bull that we saw just before. That
Yeah,
is there in the wall. Wow. Okay.
yes,
Well, it's impossible to recognize in the photo, of course. There is a big
yeah,
animal
of
in
course.
between, in between us.
Yeah, and also they came like on the wrong side of
Yes.
the steer, and
Yes.
so the hand got a little bit stuck, and
Uh,
it wasn't the best situation, but
but
it
it's
was
beautiful.
eventually
But the photo is
okay.
really nice.
Yeah,
Yes. There
yeah,
is
and it's
you mentioned before that you get used to shot these rodeos, the scene and everything because you are there. I mean, you start one, and I suppose that you catch how it's going, how it goes, everything, and then you do well. But in your photos, like in the first photo that you show with the two couple giving the kiss,
mm-hmm,
there are a lot of intimate moments in these photos, like the kiss. For me, a kiss is one
mm-hmm,
of the most intimate moments in the life of a couple. But
mm-hmm.
there are a lot of means there. I mean, in the exhibition we had not so many, but I know that in your photos there are a lot of intimate moments. This is a different thing. I suppose that you means this connection with them, this talking and probably sharing a whiskey, a bourbon in the bar. I don't know. I suppose that gives you this approach that you were for more
Yeah,
free.
yeah, and I don't know, like even like of course, like there's a lot of I do take a lot of photos, but still, like what I like gravitate towards the moments are maybe more these kind of like silent and more like personal moments. So uh, I don't know, like I feel like my rodeo photos are not very, even the rodeo is very loud and like adrenaline filled. I do have some of those moments, but at the same time, I feel maybe the way I see it is that even like if you do, let's say, bull riding
Yes.
or steer riding, this is smaller steers, um, you are there on your own. You're like completely alone in that moment. It's like everybody else is somewhere like further away. So even like in the midst of all these like action and craziness, there's like solitude there. So maybe that's one of the reasons why I tend to choose these kind of like private moments. But I've been visiting people's homes and staying with people outside of the rodeo. So of
Yeah.
course it's not only this kind of like action packed thing and this sport event that I'm interested in. It's more of the gathering, like more of the community, more of the people coming together and seeing each other and what happens there and what they are experiencing
Well,
there.
this approach is what we can see in your photos. You know that you are right
Yeah.
there. I mean, you are part of them. It's like if you are American, you are the daughter of one of them, and you are just working there, taking photos.
Yeah.
Okay. I am very bad in I am very bad speaking French. Especially, stop here. I wanted you to stop here because I just wanted to
Mm-hmm.
talk about this photo. We met
Okay.
we met 2 years ago in Arles, and this photo was
Mm-hmm.
the cover of the off. I don't know how to say this word that starts by V. What off? I mean, I don't know how
Wow.
to
Wow.
wow
Yeah.
off.
Wow.
Yes, I remember that we met in Arles. You showed me your work, and then I was seeing this photo all around the city all the time. It was fantastic. And now we have here next to your text, we have which is the
Mm-hmm.
name? Which is the
Yes.
name of this person?
He's Russell. He's a bull rider.
Okay, well, with his perfect golden, and when it was
He's
very
yeah.
it was
Very.
amazing when we were printing the work. I remember looking all these details. I mean, I will invite everybody who come to see the exhibition. Take a look to every little detail of the photos, the framed photos, especially because the other one are very large, and you will enjoy every detail that you have in your photos. Okay, then you mentioned a little bit before, but you just
Mm-hmm.
finished, and we can see the photos meantime, of course. You just finished to
Mm-hmm.
publish the book about this project, Heroes, and you did it with Angry Bat, our neighbors from Slovenia. I know Matej.
Yes.
I mean, they proposed me to do something last year, but because the COVID, it fucked up, literally. Now we hope that in September we'll manage to do the photo book week that we want to do, and of course he will be invited and with your work for sure, and we hope that we can bring you here. But I want to ask you, it's not your first book. Then the first question it will be the first question will be in general. Why a photo book? And then I will ask you how was the process of to work, and a little bit how was that you end working with Angry Bat? That like I say, they are our friends from Slovenia. Matej, fantastic. Can you tell us a little bit why you like to make this? I don't know if to finish the projects or to do the photo books of the projects, and how was the process and how it was that you end working with Angry Bat?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I have been into books my whole life, but for me, it's somehow very like natural thing to think the work as a book. In the very beginning, when I started working on these American cowboy girls, heroes, for me, it was obvious that they will become exhibitions, but also that they will become books. I just enjoy like in an exhibition. Of course, there's the like a physical meeting in bigger size, and you can have like bigger than life and maybe life size images of people and places. But in a book, there's this control that you have over so many things. It's this kind of like a very neat package that you can take with you wherever. Like exhibition is up on a certain period of time, but the lifespan of a book is something completely different. So it can work just fine 20 years from now, and you can take it from the shelf and you can see how it looks, and you can be there again. So I think it's a very like fantastic way of showing your work. Also, like I mentioned before that I enjoy these like tangible things. So there's the like physical aspect of the book that you are kind of like close to it. So I can choose the paper. It's very important to me. What kind of paper, how thick, what feel. Like the Cowboy Girls artist book, for example, was this Japanese paper, very nice, very thin, super beautiful printing of the images, and it's like oversized, so it kind of like feels fragile. But I had it like as a piece on several exhibitions, and it's still fine. Like after thousands of people have lived through the book, it's it's amazing. So that so many people can touch it, and it can still work beautifully. But how I met Matej, I had a friend, fellow photographer from Slovenia, and he introduced me to Matej, and I had been shooting the American Cowboy for quite many years already, and I was trying to find a publisher, not just a publisher, but the right publisher.
That's the point, of course. Yes.
Yeah, I felt like there are a lot of good publishers, but for like my project at that time, it was my first book. I really wanted to find somebody who would feel as passionate about my work as I did, and somebody who would really like see it and understand it. So I had some funding from for the book already from Taike. So this let's say, what was it again? It's in Finnish in Taike, but Arts Promotion Center, for the photo book. So I could have self-published the book, but I just wasn't like comfortable enough to do that, and I wanted to also have somebody else to share the process with me. Like I'm spending already so much time alone with my images and with the texts and whatnot. So I wanted to have some kind of like collective, some other person. So I introduced my project to Mate, and of course, I didn't know that we will do the photo book together then, but he really was, he's into the Americana himself, and like we had uh, read a lot of same books and enjoyed like the same movies, and then we decided that we will do the book together. But it was, I have to say, in a sense, funny that when we started the process, Mate hadn't seen my work before, and he was saying that, okay, in a photo book, you can only have this amount of images, and we didn't have so much money. So he said like, okay, it will be soft cover and everything. But kind of like after seeing my project, he was like, okay, we will have to have at least this amount of images. And I went through all the sizes, and I decided that this is like the right size, and my size was like half a centimeter shorter or something. So we're like, okay, we're totally on the
Wow.
same page here. So and it went so well that and when I started making my second book, I started also talking with Mate and what he thinks of it, and we both felt like we want some like prizes with the book. One, for example, the most beautiful book in Slovenia, this competition, and it was a very beautiful book, but we didn't want to, sorry, I continue the scrolling. We
Yes.
didn't want to redo the American Cowboy. So, and I've been doing these artist books. So I wanted to somehow bring that into this kind of like book that it's not just like handmade, but in fact the special edition of the book, we have this beautiful box of or like 6 booklets and the newspaper edition, and they are actually like handmade.
Wow.
So there's it's edition of 80, and then the newspaper is a much bigger edition, obviously. It's 1000.
Wow. Beautiful. Yes, we can say, and now I'm going to make a bit of publicity for Mate. Think that Angry Bats in Slovenia, they have a beautiful contest for photo books that everybody can apply, and they have a beautiful award if they show if they apply with the best. That's nice. I just want to say, means I understand what you mentioned when you talk about Mate, means to find the publisher that you think that really love your work. I think that in a part, it could be like a curator. I suppose that you cannot work with somebody who don't really feel your work. If not, I think that has to be difficult, you know. It has to be, means I don't know how you can feel, but I am feeling you, Karoliina, like a person that has quite clear idea about what you want. It means, you know, like you mentioned, I like the paper, the smell, probably, kind of another thing. And then I suppose that it has to be like a proper collaboration, because you will not leave never the controls of the work.
Yeah, or then I can, if I have the trust for the other person, like this new book, Heroes. We are actually collaborating with 2 designers, A, Anya and Aliash, and they have made a beautiful design. Of course, like there's also my input there, but I wanted to bring somebody from outside who would have understanding, because we wanted to do this newspaper feel there.
Yeah.
And I've done like a layout and designing myself, but still that's not like my expertise.
Yes.
So I wanted to bring somebody there who can surprise me.
Yeah, of course.
In a good way.
Of course, I mean, of course, if you don't like, they will have to change or to fix or whatever, because finally your word is like when we designed the exhibition here. It means for me at the end, your word is the last word, is your work, you know, it's important. You mentioned something very that I really feel in the same way about the books, that they are something tangible. For me, there, it means like you say, we see the exhibition and it's fantastic, but now when I see, when during the COVID, I was sitting in my home with nowhere else to go, and taking my photo books that I have in my collection and just sitting there under the sun and enjoying them. This is fantastic, and I think that that yes, we have a long future for the photo books. Thanks God. We are in the festival in Belgrade Photo Month. From the first edition, we are trying to push a lot them. This year now we don't have exactly, it means we don't have a proper photo book exhibition because we expected to do on May the photo book week, and then we will see. But for us, is basic, is essential, and is something very important. Very good. I remember.
I will put.
Tell me.
Sorry. Can I will put the American Cowboy video just rolling on the background. So
yes, sure,
continue.
Sure.
Yeah.
I remember once I was in Barcelona, and they were doing Mr. Stadel from Stadel. He was doing a presentation of their books that later they present the perfume of the smell of the book. And he mentioned something like the analog book. He was an analog reader. And of course, I think that analog readers doesn't exist before they exist the digital books, because they were just books. But nowadays, I have to say that I love analog books too.
Yeah.
Okay, let me say just a bit for finishing. Let me ask you, in what are you working now? New plans, new projects, new books, new exhibitions. You're going back to the States soon after this COVID time. What are your plans for the short future or medium future?
Well, of course, I want to continue doing the work with the girls. So I plan on going there as soon as I can, and of course this is the first time I've exhibited heroes once. This kind of like smaller take in my hometown in Rovaniemi, but it was a much smaller thing, and I wish to take that heroes to new places. But I have to say, I have many plans, but they are in such an early stage that I'm kind of like a little scared to talk about them. But I have like ideas. Of course, it's a little different mindset that you need to have in these COVID times. That closer to home, some subjects can be very interesting too. But of course, like this Western America have been also my home for many years. So I hope to be able to return there also. And I really want to take these heroes to the people of the gay rodeo. So they have the possibility to enjoy and see too.
That will be fantastic. Like, will be like your present, you know, the grateful present for all these years being there and for them sharing everything with you.
Yeah.
Super.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know, we have this exhibition that will take care of it, of course. And for us, it will be a pleasure to give a second or third or fourth or fifth life. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, before to leave, we have we have a lot of people that was coming and seeing, but we have one special comment by one person that it contains a question. Is from probably you know her. Is Barbara Kachilikova. Okay, I don't know. She wrote, "Thank you for an amazing work and sharing it with us. I am a painter, and to paint cowboys is my big dream. Could you please recommend me a way how to approach these places, people, or an interesting artist residence in the place?"
Many of the artist residencies are not open for people outside of US. Of course, you can just make your own residence, just like going there. I would maybe recommend that. And I don't know, I would say, like, if you are interested in, let's say, this kind of culture, try to find a way to visit, like a ranch, or go to rodeos, talk to people. I don't think it's so easy to do beforehand, but once you are there and once you meet the people, it will definitely be easier. I feel it's a like two-way street. You can't just go there and take something, and you need to also give something back in return. I feel I at least I try to do that. I don't know. I don't maybe have like such a good advice, but
Well, it means
but
it's not an easy
just
solution, but probably is the
yeah,
best,
I
of
would
course.
say, yeah, be brave and just like
And go.
there. Yeah.
Yes. We have a comment by Imre Zabok. He's a photographer from Serbia, from Belgrade, who is exhibiting in the festival, and he says, just say, "Great work, congratulations to you, Karoliina."
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I think that now you can say something or shut up until, not forever, until the next time. But I just want to tell you, Karoliina, thank you very much. It has been a pleasure to meet you, to work with you in the exhibition. Every process you did it, you helped to do it easy and smoothly, what is fantastic when you are organizing a festival. That is quite a help. And I am very grateful.
I can imagine.
Yes. And of course, like I mentioned before, to the people from Frame, Finnish Cultural Foundation, Art Promotion Center Finland,
Yes.
I will say thanks to the people from the Embassy of Finland in Serbia, because they came to the opening. It was fantastic. And thanks to Victor Perolo, who print these works, and Maric, who frame it, because they did a very nice work, all of them. And just thank you from all the heart. I think that everybody is enjoying so much your work, and thank you for everything.
Yeah. Thank you, David.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
We'll be in contact, and see you soon.
Yes.
Okay. I hope in September in Belgrade.
Yes. Fingers crossed. Yes.
Bye. Thank you. And just to say to everybody that now this talk will be recorded, is being recorded, and we are going to put it in our YouTube channel, and you can enjoy it. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.